Hey, Jack Squad. How's everybody doing on this terrific Tuesday? Hope all is well, and I hope you're making it happen for yourself. Got to make it happen for yourself, guys. Listen, there's a lot going on, a lot to talk about. I didn't go live today at 2:30 because I've got to figure it out. My schedule has changed just a little bit. I will go live tomorrow. And I'll try to let you guys know ahead of time, right? But I know for sure tomorrow, and then I'll tell you moving forward, right? What time it'll be. But anyway, because it'll probably be slightly different tomorrow too, because I'm in some training. But anyway, y'all, first of all, which is what I was going to talk about at 2:30. Well, let me just say this. Like and share and comment and subscribe, y'all. I got so much on my mind. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Please like, please like, please like, please subscribe. All of my social media stuff is down in the description box, as well as my email and my Cash App. Okay, so first off, we got to say rest in peace to Takeoff's family, right? This young man was only 28 years old. Killed allegedly during a dice game. That happens so much, all the time. It was a guy, I still remember his name, I'm not going to say it on here. When I graduated from school, he was killed over a dice game, and allegedly it was about 25 cents a quarter, okay? So this is nothing new in our culture, but it must stop. The killing must stop. Killing must stop. Figure out another way to resolve issues. Now, let me tell you what thought just came in my head. Instead of all this stuff that we're not going to use being taught in school, math is important, science is important, all that's important if you're trying to be a mathematician or a scientist. But everyday life needs to be taught in school. And one thing about everyday life that needs to be taught is, besides finances and how to do a check account and how to do things regarding the bank or banking, is how to resolve conflict. How to resolve conflict. A lot of times that isn't taught until you get to college, but everybody don't get to college, right? And we need that before. We need to be taught that from day one, from kindergarten. We need to be taught how to resolve conflict. Because shooting somebody and killing them is not the way to resolve it. That ain't the way to resolve it. This is a young man doing quite well. You know, what hurts me, I'm a mother, I have sons, I got grandsons. I got brothers, I got nephews. And I'm always scared for them, the ones that live in Cleveland especially. Always afraid for them, right? Because they don't really seem to see the real danger as I see it, right? And that's probably because they haven't seen it change. That's all they know. I've seen it change and get worse. I've seen the change, right? And one thing I'm going to say is probably won't be popular, but when you reach a certain economic level, you have to stay away from regular things. You can't be regular. You're no longer regular. You know, I know a lot of people, they down for the peoples and we amongst the peoples. Those are the ones that always get killed. You have to remove yourself. You have to remove yourself. If shooting dice is what you like to do, then you and your friends that are of the same economic status, have a game. Y'all 28, plenty of y'all like to shoot dice, right? Plenty of y'all like to do what everybody like to do, right? It's sad. It's a shame. People are just running up and killing rappers. You know, now we're hearing about a lot of rappers. I don't know what that is. Right? But it must stop. It must stop. Because when we do that to ourselves, I don't know who killed this young man. That's why they kill us, because we don't care. So rest in peace to Takeoff's family. I don't know if he had children or anything like that. They just released the album. I think him and Quavo. You know, I hope, you know, him and Offset were feuding and beefing or whatever. I don't know if it was Quavo and Offset or him and Takeoff and Offset. But the Migos had split up a little bit, right? And so I hope this shows that life is short and whatever beef you have is not really worth it. Now, and that applies to myself. I have some people that I need to have conversations with. Speaking of conversations, I had my first therapy session yesterday, and it went well. And quite frankly, I'm still marinating in it, right? And so I'll have them twice a month. But because this is the end of the month, I'm going to have 3 sessions next month, which every week, which is greatly needed, right? I have a lot of internal feelings and things going on that I need to resolve to move forward. You know, I have moved forward in my life constantly, but there's still a block, right? And a lot of it comes from the childhood trauma. Matter of fact, most of it comes from childhood trauma, right, that I need to resolve. Because little Jackie's still mad. Big Jackie cool. Little Jackie's still mad. And little Jackie is easily triggered, right? So I am happy to say that I am in therapy and hopefully I'll get fixed, right? Another thing, voting. Early voting is still in effect. I said I was going to say it and I've been forgetting. I'm going to say it until next Tuesday, next Wednesday, when we have won everything that we won. Early voting is still in effect. If you're like me and don't want to early vote, because I like to walk in there like Martin Luther King and Ralph Abernathy and cast my vote on election day. I can't vote early, you know, because I just can't. And even though I've moved around a lot throughout the states, the first thing I do after I establish residency is register to vote and get me a library card. Okay, and 9 times out of 10, you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone because you can register to vote at the library, right? Very important. Very, very important that we vote. That is our right. That is our duty. We're standing on the backs of folks who died, took beatings, went to jail, ridiculed, humiliated, all kind of things happened so that we could have the right to vote. And if you don't think they're going to try to take it, they're already doing that with suppressing voters' rights. You see what they did with Roe versus Wade. Okay? I have to be careful what I say because I've stopped cussing. I've tried my best, right? And YouTube still will penalize me. It's a lot I want to say in the way that I want to say it, right? But we have to vote. We have to vote. Very important. We have to vote. There's no excuse. It's free. You can get a ride. They'll give you an ID if you have. There's no excuse for you not to vote. Now, if you haven't registered, it's too late. But start now for next time. Okay? We're going to forgive you now. Start now for the next time. We're not just voting for the president. Okay? We're not doing that. That don't count. All right? So, that's that on that. But I'm talking about the cancellation of Kanye. Listen, and he's still talking. I just watched a program about the evangelicals. Jerry Falwell, his son, and how they have influenced politics. Didn't really know that. Very enlightening and insightful, right? And these are the people that got Trump elected. So Kanye has been on suspension from, I think it's IG again, right? But Donald Trump says he praising him and he's not going to condemn him for hateful and anti-Semitic outbursts. What I don't understand, y'all, for the life of me, does Kanye not know he's an African-American, a black man, a Negro? Does he not understand that? Does he think his money changes his skin color? What is he thinking? And listen, I know they say he has mental illness and all of that, but some of that is in you. That's who you are, right? Like I said, I got crazy kin folks. That's who you are, right? What has he been drinking? Did they drug him? Did they hypnotize him? Did they mind control him in some kind of way? Like, what is going on? Listen, I don't know if he's just talking against the Jews because they own everything. I don't know what that's about. I'm not going to even begin to guess because my mind don't go in crazy. But, and he's composed of that platform that he's buying, whatever it's called. What is it called? Platera? What it's called something. You know, what is it called? I just saw it. Parlor. He's set to buy that. See, these folks that are super crazy and super rich, they want these platforms because they can spew all the hate that they want. They want to create an atmosphere of hate. And Kanye has gotten this from Trump, who is the biggest hate contributor in the world, definitely in the United States, right? This is really deep and sad. He can't be, anywhere he goes, he causes a ruckus. He went to, I don't know if it's North, I don't know if North is a boy or girl. Look, these people, these names, I don't know if North is a boy or a girl. But he went to the game for one of his children. And, let me see which one it was. I want to say it was North. Or his son. I don't know what is his son's name. Because Saint. His son is Saint. Okay, went to a soccer game and caused a ruckus with one of the parents, right? And true, maybe somebody said something to him and antagonized him. But you can't go anywhere. You can't say anything. At what point do you say, let me go sit down? Let me go over there and sit down. You got $1 gazillion. Go sit down comfortably. You can go sit down comfortably and have everything you need sent to you. Go give it a week. Give it a rest. Give it a rest, Kanye. Give it a rest. This is Auntie Jackie telling you to give it a rest. Give it a rest. You understand? Jesus rested on the 7th day. Come on, right? Everybody's canceling him. Everybody want no parts of him. And I think that some people are just jumping on the bandwagon because it's an easy bandwagon to jump on, right? And everybody is being sympathetic to the Jews. No one is sympathetic to black folks. That's the part that I don't get, right? We can get trampled, killed, shot, beat, stabbed, hung. Nobody gives that much empathy or sympathy, right? They said all kinds of things, but we don't get that, right? Like I said, I was just watching this movie. It's called God Forbid on Hulu. Check it out, y'all get the chance. It's about a young man got caught up in the Falwell's web, and it was and it led to a political web, and he was Cuban, I think. So he didn't like what he was saying after a while, because he's a brown person. But anyway, Kanye, I don't know if he forgot who he was or he just don't care. We understand you have mixed children. Their children are white. We got it, right? But they're going to have a harder time than the average black person because they're not going to know who they are. They're not going to know who to identify with. They're going to have some problems. It's already going to have some problems. And then you crazy as a Bessie bug, that's going to be a problem. Their mama all out in the social medias. Those kids are going to be, I don't know how you shield them from all of the activity that goes on with them too. I don't know how you shield them from that. And they come out mentally stable, healthy human beings. I don't know how you do that. How do you do that if Kanye's your dad and he always run up at the mouth? And I just imagine sometimes, most of the time he's hollering, he's loud. I just don't see him being quiet, Kanye, right? So everybody's canceling him. I think, what's his name? Russell Simmons reached out to him and said, be cool, take a break. We as black folks, we are taught to love. We are taught to help. That's our culture, right? And we're taught by elders. But this last couple generations that have come along, they don't respect elders, right? But this is where you get your wisdom from. I never would have been able to make it in the world without a mother and father if I didn't have elders in my life. Anybody's mama could tell me anything, and I would sit there and listen. And a lot of times I would be around their parents and didn't want to be around the kids, right? So, or the older brothers and sisters, right? He's not listening. I don't know what it's going to take. If this is a diabolical plan that he has created because he wanted to get out of all those contracts, wonderful. I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is why are you spewing so much hatred and why are you denying who you are, right? And why are you siding with evil? Like, when he did it way back with Trump, I was like, oh, this is some gimmicky, but he's really serious about this. So did they drug him? Did they put him in a trance? Did they hypnotize him? What happened? How did he get like that? How did he get like that, y'all? That's what I want to know. How, right? I don't know. And it seems like he doesn't care, and it seems like he's just going to say whatever he wants to say, and he's going to do whatever he wants to do, and does not care about the repercussions, right? He was mad. I see somewhere that he was mad with Jason Lee because Jason Lee told the story of Donda Academy closing. It was somebody was gonna break it. It happened. It was a thing. It's real. Like, he doesn't want anybody to say anything to him. He doesn't. He doesn't want anybody to say anything to him. When nobody can tell you nothing, then you're being led by a fool. Did y'all know that? If nobody can tell you anything, you're being led by a fool. Let that sit right there for a minute, right? And so they're doing to him what they did to Donald Trump. Now, did Donald Trump ever get back on Twitter or social media? I don't know. I don't know about that because I don't follow him. I ain't studying, right? I want this January the 6th situation. See, this is the thing I don't understand. Like, Kanye, you know the horrors. But you know, people that are like that, they can spin the narrative the way they want to spin it so it suits them, right? But Kanye, you're a black man. And once again, if it's between us and them, when they draw that line is going to come. When they draw that line and said, y'all over here, we over there, you over here. Understand that, right? And I don't know why he keeps spewing all this anti-Semitic stuff. I don't know why. You know, let me tell y'all something. I rode past somebody's house today. And, you know, it's important to know who your neighbors are and what they think. And I've never had a conversation with anyone, you know, throw my hand at my neighbors across the street. That's about it, right? But they had on their license plates ALM. I said, oh, is that All Lives Matter? So automatically when I see that, so when the person just happened to come out the house, they were black. Automatically when I see that, I think they're involved with a white person. That's why they're saying that. Now, let's just say I was with a white man. It would still be Black Lives Matter to me because they're killing black people, right? And my white husband or boyfriend or friend would have to understand that. And when you go against the grain, you have difficulties, right? I don't care how much money you have. Kanye is tormented. From what I don't know, but he is tormented. He is tormented. Yes, he might be. You know, I was saying that he was a genius, you know, borderline, you know, he's on that line of genius and insanity, and I still believe that, right? I've seen other people in comments say he's not a genius, he's dumb. I think that he is because he has a business sense, right? Great business sense. Now, like I said, if this is a hoax, if this is not a hoax, if this is a diabolical plan to come out of these contracts that he wanted to come out of anyway, okay, cool. Don't care nothing about your business. I care about your mental and your spiritual, right? And why you keep spewing these hateful things, and why every time you go somewhere it turns into an argument or confrontation. Why? Like what? He's got a lot of demons or something up in him, right? Something's up in there that ain't got no business. Do we need to go get an exorcist? We need to perform an exorcism on him? We need to put some holy oil on him? Do we need to rebaptize him? What needs to happen? Does he need to get some, well, he ain't taking his medicine. Do we need to put him away for a while? What needs to happen so we can save him from himself? There ain't nobody bothering him. He hurting himself. God, tell y'all, when you ain't listening to nobody, you're being led by a fool. When you won't listen to nobody, when you can't hear nobody, you're being led by a fool, right? Every day is something. And I had said way back, I ain't going to talk about it, but every day is something. Every day is something, and it seems like the day before is worse than the day. You know, every day is something, right? He has children. They're going to have to shield them kids really well from the fact that their dad is a raging maniac. And I wonder, do he have meaningful conversations or meaningful time with them? Or is he just going to events for, and show and make a fool, make a mockery and leave? Because he always leaves, right? Like, what is it? Is it the fact? You see, and then when people are crazy like that, they want their significant other to stay with them and stay in the crazy. First of all, I can tell you right now, Kim is not equipped to deal with that. She's not a black woman. Had you married a black girl, she might have been able to handle it a little better. She's not equipped to handle that form and that type of crazy, right? And you know, white women always want to get a black man, but they're different. They're different and they're difficult, right? Yeah, you know, Kanye, every day someone else has disconnected themselves from him, or he's disconnected himself, right? He's harming him. You know, which being suspended from Instagram is not a big deal. Unless you like to talk a lot and want to put a whole bunch of stuff out there, then it is a big deal, right? You know, I like social media. I'm entertained by it. But if they were to suspend me, it wouldn't be the end of the world. But for Kanye, I wish, you know, because it's not healthy, and I tell y'all this all the time, it's not healthy to just be spewing venom and going crazy and doing ridiculous stuff every day. That's not healthy, right? So anyway, y'all, we're going to continue to pray for Brother Kanye. He's still our brother whether he wants to be or not, right? We can't change this. This don't change. This don't change. It don't change. You got to embrace it and be who you are, right? You can have all the money in the world. You're still going to be a black man. And the folks that you're trying to side with going to look at you as a black man. That's how they look at you. They don't look at you as one of us. They just look at you, the black man is sold out. That's how they looking at you. And that they can use you and puppet you. Listen, I was looking at the news this morning. They said Herschel Walker got is 1% over. And sometimes I don't want to believe the news. I just don't want to believe it. I think it's a lot of propaganda, right? They said he's 40%, 46%, and Warnock is 45%. This is down here in Georgia, right? I just don't believe. Who would vote for Herschel? Have y'all heard Herschel speak? Have you heard him speak? I would be afraid to leave a dog with him. He got kids. I would be afraid to leave him in charge of anything. Anything he could not be in charge of. He definitely could not lead. He definitely does not need to be in office. But what's going to happen is, it's like Kanye and Candace Owens and what's the boy named Charleston White. They are being puppeted. They are being puppeted. He's going to get in office. He don't even know what to do but sit down in the chair, right? He's going to be doing their work. He's going to be doing the Republicans' work. He's not going to know. He don't know. He don't know nothing. He doesn't make sense when he speaks. He doesn't form complete thoughts. He can form a complete sentence, but doesn't make sense. The thoughts don't go together. That's a problem for me, y'all. You know, and I'm seeing a lot of this, you know. We have to stop. We have to stop being the spokesman for the opposition. We have to embrace who we are and stand up in our blackness. Period. Right? And we can't do things to hurt others. Like Herschel's going to get in there and make it a mess. Now, they say that the early vote down here in Georgia is in record numbers, more so than 2020 or whenever, you know, I wasn't down here. I did see a poll work and asked him what about the early vote. And he said, oh, yeah, it's going, right? Going quite well. Everybody's coming out. I just can't imagine Herschel Walker being senator. I can't imagine him being in charge of nobody, right? He's going to be a puppet. I'm telling him what's going to happen down here in Georgia with this man in charge. Anyway, y'all, that just saddened me. That just saddened me right there. Hit the like button for me, y'all. Hit the like button for me. Subscribe. Do all the things. And most importantly, vote. Okay? Vote. All right, guys. Have a great evening.